I have got such a fantastic ride planned out for you guys today. It's basically a loop that goes through the Bear River Range. So just a whole bunch of good roads in front of us. And of course, I've picked out some points of interest along the way. Moose, cougar, mountain lion, wolf, snake, and I have got a bear story for you guys. Traveling through the Cache National Forest. Some beautiful high country riding here. Thanks to Butler Maps for suggesting this road to me. I would have never known about this road. Single lane dirt road wrapping around the mountains. Wow, this is beautiful. Look at all the flowers up here. Well, it's much more of a proper rugged back road now. This road does not see much maintenance. Oh, we've got some sheep on the side of the road. Look at them, how cute. Welcome back to the Motorcycle Travel Channel. I'm Sterling, and today I am up in the small town of Randolph, Utah, and I'm getting ready to go on a ride which I've put together for you guys that I call the Bear River Range Adventure Loop. The ride starts just outside of Randolph, Utah, and it's basically a loop that goes through the Bear River Range. It has 6 climbs and descents along the way with a total elevation change of 18,865 feet. The lowest elevation on this ride is 4,486 feet, and we'll get up to 8,232 feet. And we are going to hit a smorgasbord of really highly rated paved and dirt roads on this ride. We'll hit a section of G1, 2 sections of G2, and 2 sections of G3 rated pavement. And as far as the dirt roads go, we'll hit 1 section of A1 dirt and 2 sections of A3 rated dirt. So if this is something that sounds interesting to you guys, watch this video and hopefully you'll get a chance to come out here and ride in this part of Utah as well. Got the van parked up here on the hill at the campground. I'm going to leave it here as I go out riding today. So I have everything that I need on my motorcycle for a day of adventure riding. Camping gear, food, water, filming gear, everything I need. So I decided to head back into the town of Randolph and gas up. I've only used about 60 miles of fuel on the bike so far, but if I gas up now, that's an additional 60 miles worth of range that I'll have out in the backcountry. Okay, we just left the gas station and we are turning to the left on a paved road out of town that will quickly turn into a dirt road, and we'll be on our first long stretch of dirt right at the start of this route. And that's one thing that I really enjoy, is to be camped out in a place where you can just get right onto the dirt adventure at the beginning of the day. Here's where the dirt road starts. As you can see, it's a pretty nice graded, smooth gravel road. It does have a lot of surface gravel on it, so as tempting as it is, I won't be going too terribly fast around any corners. And the Little Creek campground where I'm at is right over here. So the van is parked here. We're gonna do this big lollipop loop and then we'll come back to this location. And when I refer to a lollipop loop, I'm talking about a loop ride that has a stem on it like a lollipop in order to get out to the loop. And so we're gonna travel up the stem now, see if we can take a drive over the reservoir just for the sake of it. Just to give you guys a look up here. It's not a particularly big reservoir, but it is a nice little body of water. So this is kind of the stem of the lollipop that we're traveling up now. After we do the loop, we'll come back down this stem at the end of the day or tomorrow morning. Through the farm fields and the sagebrush. Well, this is a beautiful road to start this morning's ride on, and it's an A3 rated road leading up to an A1 rated road, so the real gem of a road is still up ahead of us. So we're about halfway up the stem of the Lollipop right now. When we connect to the Lollipop, we'll get on an A1 rated road. So far so good. This is really a beautiful road. Traveling through the Cache National Forest. We're climbing up into the Monte Cristo range. You want to always stay on the right hand side around corners because you just never know who's going to be coming in the other direction. You want to have a nice margin of safety. Avoid head-on collisions. Okay, I think I might be at the high point as we cross over this Monte Cristo range. I'm just over 8,000 feet of elevation, and it looks like it might be starting to drop down here. The track is showing a bunch of switchbacks. That usually means rapid change in elevation. I always like to be aware of the high points. For whatever reason, it just helps me to understand the track, where I'm riding, the mountain ranges, the environment. It just helps me be more in tune with the navigation rather than just living with what's right in front of me. I think as motorcyclists riding on these kinds of roads, quite often we just get caught up in the view from the seat and the immediate challenge in front of us. We lose the bigger perspective. So that's why I try to pay attention to things like elevation in particular, and just kind of understanding where I'm at elevation wise in the bigger picture. Yeah, nice view from this little section of road right here, looking down into the area that we just traveled through. Well, we must still be climbing a little bit because we're up to 8150. A little bit sandy in these corners here. Well, it's opened up just a little bit right here. Going past a little tiny pond up here. 7,800 feet. Should be closing in on the end of the stem of the Lollipop. Woohoo! Oh, this is cool. Big view. Kind of a loose descent. Got that powder on top of the rocks. That would be challenging going up. I always bear that in mind. What would it be like if I had to go up this hill for some reason? It's good to not get yourself in a situation where you go down something you can't go back up again, because that can happen and it can be a scary experience. You'll feel trapped and you'll feel pressured to get back up the thing that you came down. And if it's difficult and challenging, you'll be extra nervous because you know how hard it was going down. Now you have to turn around and go back up again. So is that something that you would be comfortable going up if you had to? This, I would be able to go up. I'm not concerned so far. But it is pretty powdery, and that's because those sections around the corners get chewed up by the vehicles, the larger vehicles in particular, and the quads and the razors. They just pulverize that material, make it kind of into a powder. So this kind of riding through this high mountain forest is not necessarily what I think about when I think of riding motorcycles off-road in Utah. And I'm sure most people think about the same things I do, which is the slick rock down by Moab, the sandstone and the buttes. You don't generally think about high mountain forests and meadows as much when it comes to Utah, but there is just as much of this kind of riding as the other, and we're in it right now. All right, we've made it out to the Laketown Road, so this is where the stem of the Lollipop meets the Lollipop itself. Well, that road was a blast. What a great way to get this ride started. That was way better than I was expecting, and that's only an A3 rated road. We've got an A1 rated road next that's even longer. And we're gonna head clockwise to the left over here to the south on the Laketown Road. And this is gonna bring us down to the area just north of Ogden, a metropolitan area in this part of northeast Utah. But we're not going to go into the city. We're going to avoid that on this ride. We're going to continue making a loop through this Bear River Range. Just getting started on this Laketown Road toward Hardware Ranch. And I've already passed about 5 UTVs, ATVs, those things. So I've got to bear that in mind, that there could be a lot of traffic up here. Pretty high open country on this road. Looks like some ranch properties up here. Lots of sagebrush. Johnson Ranch. All right, so far so good. Wow, this is just beautiful. So fresh out. All these flowers on the side of the road. I'm still running street tire pressure because there's a lot of embedded rocks here. I don't really want to drop the tire pressure down too low and risk an impact puncture. So it is a little bit bumpy. Some beautiful high country riding here. Well, I'm up here on the Laketown Road at an area called Hardware Flats, and there are just all kinds of warnings about wild animals up here. We've got moose, cougar, mountain lion, wolf, snake, bear. And over here, here's a more prominent sign warning that we're in bear country and keep your food safely stored, keep your campsites clean. And I have got a bear story for you guys coming up in this episode. You can see how open it is. I've got the bike parked right here for just a moment. I'm going to hydrate, get back on the road, and keep heading down this Laketown Road. I've got quite a ways more to go, probably 20 miles or so, as I continue down this dirt road over in that direction, heading south on the Laketown Road. Big view coming down this grade. I can see lots of people camped over there in their RVs and their trailers. And when I see big pull behind trailers like that, that's always an indication that there's at least some kind of a main road to get up here, because those trailers are so big that you wouldn't take them up a real tight, narrow 4x4 road. Just something that goes through the back of my mind when I'm out riding in these places, and awareness of where I am, what kind of exit strategies might exist if something were to happen. At least I know there's people up here, and there's probably some kind of a main road. Okay, there's something coming up here. Big parking area with lots of trucks and trailers and pavement. Are we done with our dirt road already? We'll pull in and have a look. Well, it looks like this is a wildlife management area, in particular for elk population and elk habitat. I just saw a guy go by on a street bike, so I suspect that the dirt might be over. You're not going to take a street bike all the way up here on a dirt road. There could be a paved road up here, but there could also be the dirt road, and that might continue. Ah, indeed. Looks like I'm going to turn left up here, and I suspect that that will be dirt. Okay, so that was just a short little bit of pavement for us, but good to know that there is paved access to that point. Just something to make a mental note of. Well, here's a ranch with a big waterfall right next to the side of the road. How pretty is that? This is good. This is a good day of it so far. I just love all the yellow flowers blanketing the sides of the road here. This is some A1 rated dirt here, the best of the best. Thanks to Butler Maps for suggesting this road to me. I would have never known about this road on my own. There are plenty of dirt roads coming up in this adventure, but this has been one of the highlights. Riding up here in this high, almost alpine country of northeastern Utah. Wildflowers are out, there's a cool summer breeze, and lots of other people up here. Lots of 4x4s, motorcycles, ATVs, and an entire wildlife management area. So it's kind of a contrast between the remote natural environment and some people. So I don't feel like I'm completely out in the middle of nowhere, but I'm having a very relaxing, enjoyable ride. From here, I'm going to drop down on the pavement, get on some really good twisty pavement, kind of on the outskirts, the edges of the urban population center. We've got Ogden and northern Salt Lake City, but I'm going to avoid all of that and cut back onto another dirt road as soon as I can and continue this kind of mountain riding for the rest of the day. So wrapping up the Laketown Road now, we're going to get on some pavement next, but it should be pretty good, and we'll be dropping down towards the city, but hopefully avoid that. 39 west. You can see the sign says Ogden is 30 miles ahead. We're going to go to Huntsville, 16 miles ahead. It's a Sunday afternoon, so pretty much everybody is out and about enjoying this beautiful, beautiful weather. Okay, we've made it through most of the urban congestion, and I'm going to be turning here. We'll get back in the dirt shortly. I can see dust from the vehicles up ahead, so I know we're going to be getting on the dirt right here. Trucks and trailers. Expect a lot of UTV traffic up here. Here we go. A little switchback with some whoop-de-doos in it. And some washboards. Climbing up elevation. 5,500 feet right now. Hot, dusty, and washboarded. How many times have I been here before? Stay to the right. Expecting traffic. Climbing up pretty quickly. Look for traffic, no cars. Take it a little bit wide. Pull over here for a second. Take a break. Looks like a nice place. Well, I've already reached up to the high point on this particular dirt road. This beautiful meadow, flowers, and lots of people lighting off fireworks. So this is a look at the meadow from a rock hill. My bike is parked right in the middle there. There's a bicyclist, another vehicle parked next to me, more cars in the distance. A fire pit with some trash left in it. Thank you very much. Well, I just saw some guys target shooting, so perhaps it's not fireworks. Maybe it's both. But anyways, this is what it's all about. The freedom of the hills, a dirt road going through a mountain meadow. I've noticed lots of small displacement motorcycles up here as well. Here comes a couple right now. There we go, kids, riding in their t-shirts. Now we're kind of following a creek. It's off to my right over here. It's a pretty smooth road other than a lot of rocks on the surface occasionally. Some pretty big baseball-sized rocks. We're 82 miles into our ride today, heading north on an A3 stretch of dirt. Lots of people out in the backcountry today. Lots of other motorcyclists and off-roaders. Here's an SUV ahead kicking up some dust. We'll see if he lets us pass. Give him a wave and a smile. Nice little backcountry road here. Nice flow, good scenery, beautiful day, gentle descent. And there we go, back on the pavement. Beautiful valley off to the left. Look at the old house right here. It's probably been here since the early 1900s or late 1800s. Well, I am in downtown Hyrum, Hyrum, that's how it's spelled. And I came here because I wanted to check out this building. That's one of the points of interest that I found in my research. So you can see the sign here. It says Utah Historic Site. The Elite Dance Hall, constructed in 1917, is significant for its association with community events in the city of Hyrum. It's also significant because it's one of only a couple of known remaining dance halls in the state with a spring-loaded dance floor. The springs provided extra bounce for the hundreds of dancers who would crowd the floor. And if we look inside through the window here, you can see the dance floor in the middle. Elite Hall here in Hyrum, Utah. Okay, now we are leaving Logan and heading up into the mountains on some good pavement, passing Utah State University on the left. Okay, we are entering the Cache National Forest, east on Highway 89 up into the Bear River Range, outside of Logan, Utah. You can see the creek running off to the right, or the river, whatever it is. Okay, this is Temple Fork Road. Okay, this is more like it. Single lane dirt road wrapping around the mountains. So I'm on my way back up into the mountains to a place called Old Ephraim's Grave. I told you there was going to be a bear story in this episode, and that's Old Ephraim. He was a grizzly bear around the turn of the century, and back then, for 10 years, he would eat all of the locals' livestock, their sheep, their animals, and he just kind of terrorized this local community for over 10 years. It looks like I'm in luck. There's a gate right here and a sign over there that says it's open starting June 15th, and today happens to be June 15th. So this road is open, and I can continue on up to Old Ephraim's grave. Wow, this is beautiful. Look at all the flowers up here. It's getting a little bit more challenging. The road's tightened up a bit, a little looser and rockier, steeper. As you can see, things have got a little bit more spicy. The road has become a single lane, a lot more rough. Temple Flat ahead, Ephraim's grave to the right. Well, it's much more of a proper rugged back road now. Just a single vehicle width, lots of ups and downs, patches of sand. Here we go. So this is the parking area for Old Ephraim's grave. And right here it is. This rugged 4.5-ton native stone is symbolic of a giant grizzly bear called Old Ephraim, who ranged this area for many years, killing sheep, cattle, and game, and was trapped, shot, and buried near here August 1923 by Frank Clark of Malad, Idaho. Standing upright, he equaled the height of this monument, 9 feet 11 inches, and weighed about 1,100 pounds. Old Ephraim's skull was sent to the Smithsonian Institute, and he kind of became symbolic of the passage of the Old West into the modern world, one of the last giant grizzlies killed in this area. And of course, there are no more grizzly bears here, but Old Ephraim was kind of the last of his kind. Well, there you go. There's a look at Old Ephraim's grave. Now it's time to get back onto the dirt and carry on. So I would really recommend that if you come out and do this ride, you make a point to visit Old Ephraim's grave. Not only is it an interesting piece of Utah history, and it will give you a chance to break up the rest of your ride with something a little bit spicier. We're going to turn right and head toward Temple Flat. Well, this road is getting really rutted out. This road does not see much maintenance. Off in the distance down there, I can see the Bear Lake. We're going to be dropping down from here to the lake. We'll skirt around just a little piece of the southern edge of the lake, and then we'll get back on the Laketown Road that we were on this morning and ride ourselves back to the stem of the Lollipop. Here we are now, coming back to the edge of civilization. We're down at the lake. I can see people swimming on a beach down there. So this is Laketown, and I'm going to be getting onto the Laketown Road here. I can feel the coolness coming off of these sprinklers over here. Feels really good. So this quad lock phone device just came off my motorcycle, and I happened to notice it bounce off the tank and hit the road. Looks like the screw came out of here. I'm certainly glad my cell phone wasn't attached to it. Well, here we go, the last foray of the day into the high country. We've done a big loop, and now we're coming back to the stem of the Lollipop. There's some deer. Oh, we've got some sheep on the side of the road, all over the place, up in the trees. And here's some more. Look at them, how cute. Big signs saying no trespassing on either side of the road, so not going to do any camping right here. All right, well, here's the road that we came in on to the left, and we headed this direction. What do we have here in the road? Looks like a pheasant. It's probably about 25 miles or so to get back to the van. Heading back in the Cache National Forest. And I'm dropping back down towards the reservoir and the campground. I didn't really find a place to camp that I wanted to camp in tonight. I was hoping to find something way back up there on the ridge in the high country, but really just a lot of private property up there. I don't know, I just didn't get the best feeling, so I'm so close to the van, I might as well just go back. Well, that does it for this video, you guys. Thanks for watching. Ride safe, be well. We'll see you in the next video.